Okay, 3 words for you. Ron Van Clief. Let's talk to the legend right now. Okay, Kung Fu Chronicles, we are back, of course. And midway into this new year, hope everyone is doing amazing. Props, and more props for everyone out there helping me to make the channel even bigger than it used to be. And moving on into 2021, check out the last couple videos. We've had bulk of material, including a bonus question from producer extraordinaire, writer, commentator, Mr. Bay Logan, about Chow Yun Fat and Jet Li. I'll post a link to the vid below, and of course up here you can check it out. Don't do it yet because we are talking to a legend today. And guys, do me a favor, if you're into our videos, simply like the videos.
Right now, you like me.
Just give us that little like there at the bottom of the screen. Let us know you're into stuff. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Also, comment below. Talk to us about people you'd like to see on the show in future episodes. Also, follow us on our social media. I will leave that info right here. That way you'll get links up to all the videos that we've done and some behind the scenes info on stuff that's yet to come. Okay, Ron Van Clief, martial arts legend, AKA the Black Dragon.
7th degree black belt and 4 times world champion. Introducing Ron Van Clief as the Black Dragon.
We're about to talk to him for a very super special spotlight right here with you, so let's go. Today I've got martial artist, actor, multi-award recipient, Master Ron Van Clief, AKA the Black Dragon. How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you so much. Yeah.
And you're out there in Hawaii, yes?
I've been out here 9 years.
Oh wow, okay. What island?
Oahu.
Okay. So I guess I should say aloha, right?
Yeah, aloha. Yeah.
I love Hawaii.
Yeah, I moved here 9 years ago with my wife and son.
Amazing, love that place. So now, before we get started, I definitely know you're an icon, a legend in your own right, sir.
I don't believe any of that stuff, but okay.
But you know what? You're one of the.
I'm just another brother, man.
I understand.
Another brother.
I understand. But as a martial artist, you're one of the icons and legends that I grew up,
Okay.
really, yeah, like I said. So I know you're actually from Brooklyn originally, right?
Yes.
Okay. What part?
Bedford-Stuyvesant. Actually, 2155 Dean Street, Dean in Saratoga.
All right. Okay.
Boys High School. Then I went to NYU, but I quit and went in the Marine Corps.
All right, yes, because I'm a New Yorker, so I got a sister in Brooklyn. That's why I just wanted to ask you that. I know a little bit, of course, about your martial art history, how you started with Moses Powell back in the late 50s. Yes, but give me kind of like a brief summary, like what attracted to you specifically to Master Moses Powell and why?
I used to go to a place called the St. John's Community Center.
Sure.
Moses Powell was teaching there. Ronald Duncan was teaching there. George Cofield was teaching there. The giants of my age were there. And so I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. Watching Moses Powell move around like the Black Panther. You know, I mean, it was, for me, 15-year-old kid, that was like mind-blowing. You know, mind-blowing.
I can imagine. I mean, some of the greats. So let me ask you this in a question. As you know, I interviewed your good friend, also Thierry Cassell, and I asked him the same thing. So I'm going to ask you, because you guys trained a little bit different times, but at the same time, during the Civil Rights Movement and everything.
Thierry trained in many of my dojos with me, many times. We sparred hundreds of times.
Nice. But I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked him. What was that vibe like training like in those late 50s, early 60s? Because it's a Civil Rights era. It's not
different from now.
Yeah.
Different from now. There weren't that many people of color that were recognizable in the martial arts community. Most of the schools were run by Asians, the Koreans, the Japanese, Filipinos. My introduction to the martial arts, meeting Moses, is just because I was going to that community center. I was a swimmer in high school and in college. And so that's why I went to Boys High School. Because that was the school with the teams. I was a gymnast and I was a swimmer, and that's why I went to Boys High, and I did that. I competed nationally.
Okay, I didn't know you were a gymnast as well. I did not know that. All right, learned something new.
That's one of the main reasons I was successful with martial arts competition, because the training for gymnastics is a lot tougher than any martial arts.
Tell me about it.
The abuse in your body, your wrists, your ankles. I'm paying for a lot of that stuff now. But those were a direct advantage over just people that studied martial arts.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I did
It's a big advantage.
I did some training, some gymnastic training. I had a gymnastic coach for a few years. I'm in Ying Jiao Pai, just so you know, Northern Eagle Claw. And I did a lot of, because there's a lot of acrobats in our system. So I know exactly what you're saying. And I'm still feeling it, the wear and tear, even on my wrists and knees to this day.
You wait another 50 years. You know?
If I'm blessed that long, for sure.
I never thought I'd reach 77. I mean, you know.
And you don't look it, sir, which is amazing. Obviously,
Well, I feel 1,000, but that's another story.
Nah, man, you're looking great. So from there, talk to me about, obviously, you joined the Marine Corps. You went to Okinawa to train, I believe.
Yeah, I went to Okinawa. I trained in Shorin-ryu, Ishin-ryu, Okinawa-te, Shori-ju. It was a really good experience to train in the Okinawan and Japanese martial arts when I was in Okinawa. And I was there, I think, 16 months. Different from what I had experienced in the United States by a long shot. More ceremonial, a lot more respect and mindset devices like Zen and meditation and things that I hadn't really experienced when I was training in Brooklyn. My real training started in Okinawa. Not saying that I didn't learn from Moses Powell, but what I got from Moses Powell was the correct mindset to be a student, to be able to absorb different things. You know, it wasn't just, this is the best style, that's the best style. There was no style when I started studying martial arts. I just learned techniques in order to develop my potential.
No, and I get it. Because basically you're one of the very first, as I like to call it, real serious martial arts cross trainers, because you train in so many different arts. I mean...
And you know, there are good things regarding that and bad things. What happens is you study for a while, you get a little bored, so you try to acclimate by adding different technology to your system or your style, or from your own perspective. And it's all a work in progress. You got to just keep working. You know, no matter what style you study, I think all styles have a benefit, whether it's just the psychophysical or just the spiritual. Every style has a benefit. You have to, when you want to study martial arts, I didn't start studying for self-defense.
Okay.
I started studying because I saw the art and the mastery of oneself in movement. I was truly amazed by, I saw Moses Powell. I was 15 years old. You know, one finger roll out, all that stuff. Imagine 15. He was the Black Panther.
Yes.
Yes. He was the Black Panther. Watching him throw Little John around and all these guys.
Yes.
He was the Black Panther to the 10th degree.
Legendary. Yeah, no, like the people that you train with in your career, it's just like, and speaking of, you train with Ed Parker as well, right?
Yes, Ed Parker, Peter Urban, Bruce Lee mentored me. If it weren't for Bruce Lee, I probably wouldn't be in the films.
And you got, that's who coined your Black Dragon, that's who gave you the title, yes?
I fought this guy, Joe Hayes, who was a really great martial artist at the All-American. I lost. And okay. Bruce was sitting ringside and he said, "No, man, you're the Black Dragon." I said, "But I just lost." He says, "That doesn't mean anything. Your spirit is the Black Dragon." Needless to say, 10 years later, I made the film The Black Dragon, which is a mind blower. Thanks, Bruce. But, it's wild. Just strange.
No, and I love that. So since we're talking Ed Parker and tournaments and stuff, and I know you did the whole tournament circuit, how was that back in those days?
I competed for 55 years.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I retired as a 5-time world champion, 15-time All-American, and I competed in 900 tournaments over a 55-year period. And I'm still competing. I just started competing in Jiu-Jitsu when I turned 72.
I read that. How was that training? Because you're training with the Gracies, right?
I've been with them 9 years now.
Okay.
I was 3 years a white belt, 5 years as a blue belt, and I made purple belt last year. So I've been a purple belt for about a year.
Awesome.
I've got another 10 years before I make black belt though.
No, it's difficult. I do.
I'm in a rush.
Why be?
I'm 78. I'll be black belt by 90. No sweat.
That's amazing. You got it.
But I'm going to compete for the next 2 years though.
maybe it's not a fair question, but which art out of all the ones you train do you find most difficult, or is there one, or?
No such thing.
Okay.
I find jiu-jitsu to be more physically taxing than all the other ones.
Okay.
You know, but I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
We do 5-minute rounds, and when we are training for competition, we do 10-minute rounds. My sparring partner is 6'8", 340 pounds.
Right.
My sparring partner, my 35-year-old sparring partner for the past 6-7 years has been this guy. He broke 5 ribs. He broke 2 ribs. He choked me so hard that I bit through my tongue. I had 4 stitches on the top, 3 on the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, I actually bit through my tongue from being rear naked choke.
Yeah. I was going to say the wear and tear on it, because I do Krav Maga as well now, and we do a lot of rolling as well. The wear and tear, I mean, I respect all arts like you're saying, but the wear and tear when you do groundwork and stuff, it's taxing. It takes its toll.
But if you really think about what you're doing, it isn't as wear and tear as you think, because even though I don't consider myself good, you know, I've learned how to control someone that is better than me.
There you go. It's,
you know, I've learned to use body control and hand control and wrist control and different types of guard positions. And those have helped me to not have that much shock on the body. But there's still a lot of shock when the person takes you down.
Oh, yeah.
Or you know, single leg, double leg, all those things. When you go down, and the guy's on your knee like a train. You know?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, that weight.
I'm enjoying it.
As you should. That weight.
I will not stop competing. And everyone has told me not to compete any longer. I wound up having cataract surgery about 4 months ago. Then I had complications, Irvine gas syndrome, two holes through the back of my eyes, multiple shots in each eye, just a big, it's been 6 months.
Wow.
And I'm still suffering with that. And now I have floaters, so I have to go back in and get another surgery.
Got you. Wow, so man.
As you age, you know, I had cataract surgery at 76 years old. There's complications anyway, but when you get it that old, yes, you're going to have more complications. And so that's what I'm dealing with now, saving my sight.
Understood.
And in submission, I wound up buying special made glass goggles just for jiu-jitsu.
I was going to
say
a
half-inch profile, you know, really nice.
Yes.
And that's what I'm concentrating on. I wear a mouthpiece now after biting through my tongue. You know, I've made some adaptations for jiu-jitsu for my training. But I'm enjoying it, and I plan to compete until I make black belt. I'm going to compete. You know, as soon as they allow us to compete again, I'm going back to the Masters in Las Vegas. I lost my first match there last year, which really pissed me off, so I got to go back again.
Oh, watch out, the Black Dragon's back. So let's talk ground. Since we're talking ground fighting jiu-jitsu, when you did your famous fight back at the UFC 4,
one at Fort Royce.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talk to me a little bit.
I was 51 years old and 11 months. I was almost 52 years old.
One of the oldest competitors, right?
I believe so.
At the time.
I broke my left ankle 1 week before I fought him, and I decided that I would go anyway. And it was very, very challenging, but I enjoyed the ability to go out and test myself. I mean, life is about testing yourself and seeing what you're really made at.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Oh.
You have to keep going. You have to put out the best effort that you can. You know, and you got to really take a hard look. You have to actually face yourself.
Yes.
Look in the mirror and say, okay, what's the real story?
Yes.
I learned that when I was 15 years old from Grandmaster Peter Urban. He said the first thing to me was, to defeat yourself is first to know.
Right.
This is 15 years old, getting this Zen stuff, you know? It took 50 years for it to penetrate, but martial arts is only for your mental benefit. Through your mental benefit, you develop your physical benefits, and through that combination, you develop your spiritual benefits. You develop a full view, not just a biased and scaled down view of your potential. You have unlimited potential. And that's what martial arts allows you to see if you study, and you study really.
Nice. Yeah.
Your reason for studying. A lot of people study just because they want to be able to kick butt, be a badass. Okay, that's cool too. And we do need self-defense. But I think the biggest value for martial arts for me has been getting my shit together and giving me a way of focusing so that my life is organized. It isn't just do this, do that, do this. I have a journey that I'm on. And each step is a step towards what you want to do. And that's what you have to do with your life. And martial arts and life are the same. It's a microcosm. It's the same. Keep the good, discard the bad. There are so many great martial arts mantras that we can use in order to develop ourselves. And for me, it isn't about punching and kicking or fighting or anything.
Right.
I enjoy going to the jiu-jitsu school, and these young boys really abuse me.
It's challenging. It's challenging.
And it's great. My first 2 years in jiu-jitsu, when I was 68 years old when I started.
Wow.
With the Gracies.
Nice.
68.
Yes. Nice.
2 years, I was a choking dummy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You
For
get
everybody. The
Absolutely.
fat guys, the old guys, the skinny guys. I was the choking dummy for at least 2 years.
I feel your pain. I totally get it.
And it was a great experience for me.
Same here, because I was a fish out of water too. I had never done ground stuff. I had always done stand up in my 20 plus years of doing martial arts before I did club and doing that. I totally get it. I'm gonna fast forward a little to your movie career and how that got going, how you got into. You said Bruce Lee kind of kicked things off, labeling you the Black Dragon. But when you first started, like you literally did movies back to back. How did that all kind of play out? And was that part of your aspiration as you?
Yes, it was. Bruce Lee gave me the name Black Dragon, but Betty White from Black Beauty Modeling Agency was the agent that represented me with the Yang Films to do the Black Dragon series.
Wait, Betty White?
Well, scoff if you must, but I screwed it up.
Betty White, yes, Betty White, who was a little hottie at that time.
Golden Girls, Betty White?
You don't know what I sold.
Called me up to her office, and she was a hot little blondie,
Wow.
Called me up and said, got an audition for you for film in Hong Kong, yada, 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 yada. He said, this place. I went. Hundreds of people showed up. Everybody showed up.
Wow.
I did my thing. I jumped up. I kicked the light fixture in the ceiling. Went home. Next day, they called me and said, you got the part.
Nice.
Betty called me. I said, what? And a month later, I was off to Hong Kong.
So talk to me a little bit about, because it's totally different. I know people know this. I've only been on a couple of movie sets, but movie fighting versus real fighting, the choreography.
A whole different thing. I mean, when I first started doing films, I would accidentally hit stunt guys and stuff because I wasn't really aware of stuff. Martial arts films are totally artificial. It's totally fake. It's all fake. Every bit of it is fake. From the sound effects to the techniques you use, because 99% of the stuff that you see in the movies will not work on the street.
Of course, but stuff looks good for the camera.
It's a weird thing that people seem to mistaken what they see on the screen as real.
Yes.
No one can fight 50 people. No one can do the stuff that Bruce Lee did in movies, or that I did in movies. I'm the first one to say it's all fake.
Yep.
I remember I was doing a fight scene with Carter Wong, and he kicked me in the head by accident. He almost knocked me out. A hook kick right to the side of my head,
Right.
I was like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to then beat him up and beat another 20 or 30 guys.
Right.
I didn't even know where I was.
But it's selling it for the camera, right? So it's like how many, like take upon take. I know it's tiring, and you're just like,
it's very tiring and repetitious. But, I worked on about 300 films in total, Yeah. I did about 25 martial arts films. I got my SAG card back in the 60s. My first gig was working on Kojak.
Who loves you, baby? You're beautiful.
Wow. Okay.
I was a taxi driver on that show, and I met Telly and his brother George. Nice guys. Then I went to work on Ryan's Hope. I was on there.
Oh, you on the show? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was a bartender at the Crystal Palace. I worked on that for about 5-6 years, and then I got involved in training celebrities, and bodyguarding celebrities. I had a very extensive period of bodyguarding and high-level security stuff. Then I went to work for the Secret Service for 15 years. I was the senior combative instructor at the World Trade Center from 1983 to 1993.
Oh wow! Right before the first World
I trained 20,000 agents there.
Okay. And that was right before the first World Trade.
Yes.
Right. 93.
Yes.
I remember. Yeah.
Martial arts has been a very important part of my life. And it's not the movies, because truly I never enjoyed making the movies.
Oh really?
I never enjoyed making them. It was just a gig. It was a dream when I was a kid, but once I started doing it, I said, no, this is not what I want to do forever.
Okay.
I mean, I'm grateful that I had the privilege of going to Hong Kong and Thailand and China and, in all these places and doing stuff, but I didn't really enjoy it, When I came home from Vietnam, I joined the police force in New York. I was a transit cop for 6 years.
I saw that you were at NYPD.
And that didn't work out well. There was so much racism and stuff in that whole system that I gave that up.
Now I'm gonna take you back for a minute talking about films, and then we'll move on, because I always wanted to ask you this. Like, I'm an old school movie buff, so Black Dragon's Revenge, you got that one line in it that's just iconic to me, with a lady that too, but when they do the makeup thing and she poses, she's like, is that the real thing?
That's
like,
the real shit.
This makeup?
No, baby, it's real shit.
Yeah. Now, was that your line? Did you ad-lib that, or was that in the script?
No, that was in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And if anyone wants to contact me, they can go to either one of my websites, www.blackdragonfan.com or ronvancleef.com. I'm reachable, and I do want to have a presence and a consciousness with my audience and the martial arts. I just finished the film, the Snow Black, which is on HBO and Cinemax and Showtime and Amazon Prime, and getting ready to go to Atlanta to do a film with Ty Mock and Michael Jai White called Make a Difference, where I'm playing Moses Powell.
Okay.
I'm playing both teachers. I just finished my documentary, The Hangman, and that's going to be on all of the networks.
Got it.
And even Africa Prime.
Oh, nice.
This is my life story. It's a 60-minute documentary.
Got you. So you're saying you're not busy at all. You got.
I'm actually just trying to stay afloat.
Yeah.
During this pandemic, it's been very hard for people.
Absolutely.
I've missed the training so much, and I'm just happy to be alive at 78. My system of Chinese Goju will celebrate its 50th anniversary on January 25th on my 78th birthday.
And that's amazing. I was going to ask you about that really quick.
Anyone wanting to join me at the event, just email me for the invitation at ronvancleef@yahoo.com, and there we go.
All right, so there it is, the Black Dragon himself, Master Ron Van Clief. So glad and honored I got a chance to have the opportunity to speak with him, and hope you guys enjoyed as well. Remember guys, comment below, leave a simple little like if you enjoyed the video, and of course it helps to give us a lot of ideas, and of course your feedback helps us to plan future episodes and who you'd like to see on this show. And if you're really into it, take it a step further, share the video, then we can really help the channel grow. All right, guys, check a few other videos that you may like while you're here. And oh yeah, we will see you in the next round. Keep punching.
Thank you so much. Really, thank you.